Hail, fellow citizens of NOrrath, and welcome to another episode of the Clockwork Mining Corp Podcast. I'll be your host, Zaphos, and today we are talking about Everquest Next Landmark. What on earth is this landmark business? We know about Everquest Next. We've talked about it a little bit on the channel already, and I'm sure we will talk about it much more. Unless you've been living under a rock in the MMO space, you will know that EQNext is the next great game on the reimagining of NOrrath by Sony Online Entertainment, SOE, the creators of EverQuest 1, EverQuest 2, and many other great games. And basically, oddly enough, at the last SOE Live, they announced EverQuest Next, and yet they also announced a secondary game. And this secondary game is essentially a prequel. It comes before EverQuest Next and sort of paves the way, and that is EverQuest Next Landmark. And Landmark is really about building, crafting, exploring, discovering, and really setting the stage for the greatness that will be EverQuest Next. Let's talk about what it's not. It's not combat. It's not doing all those things and collecting loot and killing monsters and going dungeoneering and all that great stuff. It's not about progressing your character in any kind of way like that. What it is about is it is an MMO. It is social. It is collaborative. It is massive. And it is about building and developing and being part of this open experience that the devs have talked about in the development of EverQuest Next. The developers have talked about how EverQuest Next is going to be a milestone in online game development, given the amount of community involvement, and could actually be one of the biggest community-driven development processes that we have ever seen in large AAA scale online gaming. And that's really exciting. Who doesn't want to be a part of that? I want to be a part of it. I want to develop it. I want to help grow this game that I'm so excited about and that I'm talking about all the time, and my friends and I are talking about all the time, and guildies are talking about and people are getting pumped about. So how do we do that in EverQuest Next Landmark? Well, imagine Minecraft, and I'm hesitant to make those kind of comparisons, but in this case, it's pretty accurate. Imagine Minecraft, but in NOrrath, in a EQ-style world. That's certainly part of it. Part of this game, EQNext Landmark, will be about building Norrathian-style properties that are going to be landmark properties. There'll be competitions run from the developers to see who can create the greatest of the great monuments to brilliance, and you'll have a chance to participate in that and create these great things with your friends or alone, and share in the experience of what other people are making as well. And it's going to be pretty exciting. Certainly these competitions can and may result in some of that work being included in EverQuest Next. At its core, Landmark is really about helping the developers to build the content for EverQuest Next in the sense of the landscape and environment. And it's a great way for them to see what great and creative and smart people in the gaming community can come up with the same tools that SOE used to develop EverQuest Next. So that's right, everything you've seen in EverQuest Next is using the same tools that we are going to be privy to, that we're going to have shared with us from the developers through Landmark to be able to craft these types of environments on our own. And while we might not be crafting too many environments, we'll certainly be crafting lots of buildings and things of that nature. Maybe whole towns, who knows? Because you can collaborate with your guildmates. You can get together and share bigger plots. You can earn more plots in that kind of sense. And so it's really, really cool. These tools that we're getting are also incredibly powerful. I mentioned Minecraft, but where Minecraft would still adhere to the blocky, very square organization of its blocks, EQNext Landmark will give you the tools that you need to smooth blocks and to take away from individual blocks and add to them, and thus allow you to create almost infinite possibilities in terms of landscape, in terms of bricks, in terms of ground and walls and whatever else you can imagine. There's even been ways to create tents out of falling leather and all sorts of crazy stuff. I mean, anything you've seen of game footage in EverQuest Next today that's been published is created using voxels, the type of building blocks that the world is created from, the game world, not the real world, unfortunately. And it's using those same techniques and same tools that we're going to have access to in Landmark, and I find that really, really exciting. I also think it's really cool that as we build these awesome monuments, temples, buildings, castles, whatever, we're also, maybe towns, we're also going to be able to create templates of our components and sell those on the Player Studio. and that's going to be a really great way to get a little bit of revenue out of it, which is kind of fun and kind of cool for the company and for us as well as players. So that's all going to be really, really fun. There's going to be a lot of things we're going to discover as we play Everquest Next Landmark. We're going to discover about templates, I believe, and how you create a template for an item that then can be reused by somebody else. And while they don't get the components, they can't just plop it down on the ground as a complete object. They know how to make it, and therefore, once they get those materials, they can automatically plop down that item. That's how I believe it's going to work with templates. We're going to get to see all the other cool things that other people can make and how they design the world. And you can also design things that are outside of NOrrath, things that are outside of the Norrathian lore. There will be one kind of, let's call it server or section that's really dedicated to NOrrath, and then there'll be a lot of other sections which are really dedicated to just whatever you want to build. And you get that freedom that comes with a game like Minecraft in that sense. And I know Minecraft, people have created, scale models of the Starship Enterprise and all sorts of crazy stuff. And I think we're going to see a whole ton of just massive imagination and creativity explode onto the canvas of Everquest Next Landmark, and that's going to be something I'm really, really excited about. Overall, getting to build the game with SOE is going to be something that's really, really exciting. We're going to have persistent servers. You're going to be able to interact with your friends and your guildies and other people. You're going to collaborate, and it's going to be a lot of fun. So that's something I'm really excited about. I also think it's exciting because we're going to get to see a lot of the details that are going to make up what I believe will be the crafting and building system in the EQNext itself. Because these tools are sort of fundamental to the game development of Everquest Next, I think we're going to get a glimpse into that. The concept of congregating at crafting hubs, which is something we're going to be able to do in Landmark, congregating at these crafting hubs to trade recipes or trade design templates more accurately, and share in the knowledge, share in the experience, and trade ideas and talk about buildings. There's also going to be review systems put in place. You're going to be able to review the buildings of other people, and reviewers are going to come to the forefront as being very popular reviewers that people want to read more about. There might be some commenting system, there'll be some kind of rating system. There's just going to be all this great social stuff built into it. So it's going to be massive, it's going to be online, it's going to be multiplayer, it's going to be co-op, it's going to be social. And I'm really excited about all of that, and it's going to be done in conjunction with sort of direction from the developers on what they would like to see us work on building, competitions they want us to run, and really as we move through this, we're A, helping build the EQNext world, and B, learning about the types of systems that we're going to see in Everquest Next itself, which is really, really exciting because I believe that Everquest Next is going to really leverage this type of awesome crafting system. We're going to see some pretty amazing stuff that we've really never seen before in a AAA MMO in terms of the crafting that's going to be, I believe, an integral part, a core, essential part of Everquest Next itself. So if you're excited about getting in at the ground level, this is truly the ground level, the sub-ground level, and building up the foundation for Everquest Next, this is going to be the chance to do it. What's even more exciting is that Everquest Next Landmark is due to come out, as far as we are aware, the end of this year, in winter 2013, and that's something that's going to be really, really awesome as well. So I think with lots of chances for experimentation, exploration, and really getting in on the ground level of knowing how to use these tools, that I think we're going to see more of in the actual EQNext game itself. Experience what it means to land your flag on the ground, place your flag on the ground, take territory that's yours, and then of course the whole discovery aspect of it, going out and exploring, where do these minerals exist, where do these resources exist, where do I go to find them? And I think that's going to be a really fun part of Everquest Next Landmark that we're also going to see echoed very strongly into the Everquest Next game itself. And sharing that knowledge and keeping those secrets if you choose to, and not share that knowledge of where you found that really awesome ore, all that kind of stuff I think is going to be really fun and create this really cool kind of community environment. I think it's going to be pretty epic. So there's lots more to come on that. We're going to learn lots more about it, but I'm really excited about it to get hands-on with the tools that I think are going to make Everquest Next such a fundamental game, and crafting is really a huge part of that. I'm so happy to see for those of you that played EverQuest 1, the old EC tunnel come back, that kind of concept, or like I played in Ultima Online where we'd congregate around the blacksmithing table and sell gear and trade things and have this kind of social hub, and I think that's really cool from an immersion point of view within a game world. So All of that stuff's really exciting. It bodes really well for the game EQNext, and who knows, just maybe EQNext will be the first MMO in a very long time to truly take us back to an era where crafting can be a core occupation in an MMO world that is highly valued, prized, sought after, and a legitimate way to spend your time. I think that'll be really, really fun. Of course, combat's going to be really fun as well, but all these things are going to come together in very unique ways, and Landmark is going to give us our first look at that. I'm very excited to see it. I hope you guys are too. Share with me some thoughts. What are you guys going to build? Are you going to try and build a town with your buddies? Something like, Halas, Kinos. I thought about somebody maybe trying to build Split Paw. I don't even know if that's possible. That's a big undertaking. But what kind of landmarks from EQ1 or EQ2, or just in general, do you think that you're going to build? I think this is going to be great. A few more months, maybe 6 months, and we should have this in our hands ready to rock and roll. I can't wait. Let's do it, guys. Let's build NOrrath. Until next time, talk to you soon, guys.